Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dunce Piece by the Mangaki no Tsukai Boys, our One Piece podcast. I'm your host, Adam, and today I am joined by the third member of Milli Vanilli, Jesse.
Hello, good to be here as always. That's
And,
me.
oh, yes, that is. And the Hall to my oats, Evan.
Hey, what's up, baby?
How we doing today, guys?
Great, absolutely great. I just got home, had some spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh,
You know, Evan's homemade meatballs are nothing to fuck with.
oh. Love to
Wow.
hear that.
You said it.
My Nona would be proud.
You know, I would be proud.
All right.
My Nona isn't.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Nona.
Just for reasons that will remain undisclosed for legal reasons.
All right. So before we start, I just want to plug our Twitter. Jesse does a great job over there, so please go check out at Mangaki Pod on Twitter to stay updated. Mostly, Jesse just posts a bunch of memes that he makes up himself, so please go check it out. It's great content.
Yeah.
Also,
It's memes light. There's not much production value behind them, but I do what I can in Instagram stories.
I
Then
do.
I just screenshot that.
They're clever. They're clever.
I
They
do
come from a
enjoy
beautiful
them.
Mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Jesse just put out a two song EP with his band Tyler. Jesse, if you want to talk about that.
Sure. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We haven't put out music in 4 years under the band name Tyler, and it's just me and some good friends that go back almost 10 years at this point. Working together in the music scene, and I'm really proud of these songs. I think they're good. It's Tyler. You can find them at Tyler.bandcamp, or if you look up Tyler watching paint dry on Spotify or Apple Music, you should be able to find it easily that way, or any other service really.
And we'll also put a link in the description.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, it's great. And also you can leave us a voice message at the link in the description. Don't
Yes.
forget that special
Yes.
feature.
Please leave us a voice message. We will play it on air so long as we can.
I believe we can, yeah.
Well,
We
I
can
mean, I'm
edit it
saying
right in there.
As long as you don't say
Oh,
anything that we can't play, we will certainly play it.
Yeah. Please don't call us about Bulma's boobies.
Yeah, please don't. Please
No,
don't.
please do call us about these boobies.
Jesse, the EP is also getting remixed. You had mentioned.
Oh yeah, that's out too. That's also out on the Bandcamp, and you can find that under Grimathy. My friend Grimathy is the artist name. He's recently gotten into a lot of electronic and like dark techno. He's describing it as, and he really took the two songs and made them his own thing, and it's pretty cool. Very much
Right
like
on.
a companion piece,
Very cool.
I guess, to the other
Dude,
album. So
That's honestly really cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, it is. That is really cool.
I saw you post about it, but I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. So I'll probably do that, probably right after this podcast. I didn't realize it was fully out.
yep, it's two songs each. So please look forward to that.
Absolutely. All right. So today we are going to change up the format. It's going to be more like the Dragon Buds episode, where this chunk of chapters is really just a lot of fighting. So we'll focus mostly on the fighting, and I'll bring up some important information that should be mentioned, and then at the end we'll go over maybe some trivia and then any other little things that didn't get mentioned while we were talking about the fights. So today's chapters are 83 to 95, and that covers the second half of the Arlong Park arc. And before we get into what actually happens in the arc, we have a side story about Kobe and Helmeppo and what they've been doing after they joined the Marines. And most of their story is just them like doing chores and training, and like it's just most of the chapters were literally just them like doing chores and manual labor shit. But at one point, the ship that they're on gets a prisoner, and it's Axe Hand Morgan, and they are trying to transfer him to another Marine ship. Who we get to see Garp for the first time. He's not actually named in the chapter. He's just like Marine Vice General or Vice Captain or whatever.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I had no idea of the first time reading that. So
Yep,
this time through, I was able to pick up on that right away. And Helmeppo is Axe Hand Morgan's son, correct?
that is correct.
Correct.
That
Oh
is
yeah. So
correct.
when he like kidnaps him, it's like kind of funny. It's even called like a surprise kidnapping or whatever, and
Right.
it's like he's kidnapping his own son for holding him hostage.
Yeah. So like as they're transferring him over to Garp's ship, he takes a swipe at Garp, and then he takes Helmeppo hostage, and that's the last bit of it that we've seen from these chapters. There's definitely going to continue that story, but that's what we saw so far. Also, we see Garp's ship, which is nameless, unfortunately. There's
Is it really?
Yeah, there's no name. There's not any trivia about it, so it's just it has the dog figurehead and it's a nameless ship.
One thing I would want to mention is, and this is something I just noticed. I'm looking at the first chapter on chapter 83, and Helmeppo's smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
So-
Yep. Something we really don't see often is characters smoking. I guess Sanji and Smoker, but like
yeah.
not a lot of not a lot of characters really smoke in One Piece. So yeah, interesting to see that because I don't think that's a thing in the anime.
I've got to say too on the title page for 83, that ray tracing in the puddle is really great. I've been playing a lot of Ratchet and Clank, and it looks just like that. So good job. Looks great here on the PS5.
Jesse, I have to say, a little Ratchet and Clank is a little bit of an understatement, don't you think?
Well, in the grand scheme of how much I will play by the end of the month.
Yeah, so I was originally gonna make a joke about this, and then I wasn't. But I think it's a good idea, and I'm gonna stand by it. I can't believe Oda would be so blatant to make a blackface joke in the first fucking chapter of this arc. If we go down to page... First off, the chapter is called Luffy in Blackface, and then he literally makes Luffy in blackface on page 7, or I'm sorry, page 5 of this arc. You guys see this? You guys see what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, when he gets covered in the ink, right?
Yeah, but it's like it's like the Japanese racism thing all over again, except way more blatant.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Right.
We've had extensive combos about this in the past, but
Yeah, I'm only joking. Only joking.
yeah.
The chapter is not called Luffy in Blackface. The chapter is called Luffy in Black simply because Hachi shoots ink on him.
I was sitting over here like mouth agape, like, is it what version is he reading? It literally says blackface.
Yeah.
I was like, I see the version where it says roofie with a fucking R over
Dude,
here. But
I literally took a swig of water. You made me fucking spit water all over the place. Fucking asshole.
it's a good thing because the water was roofied.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice, dude. Okay, so
Oh, Adam, you really had me nervous here. I thought, 10,000 were about to drop out of the stream.
Not yet. Not yet.
You're a madman.
Everyone's like, One Piece is racist?
No.
Yeah, our podcast finally blows up. It gets like 1 million hits.
Well, not the audience we're going for, but I guess we got big off something.
No press is negative press.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, okay.
Cannot wait to get ratioed on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, by Hasanabi.
Yeah, someone like that, I guess.
Yeah, him or Best D Socialist. One of them. Anyway, okay, so the second half of Arlong Park is mostly fights, so we're just going to focus on those. Something that's important to note before we get into all the fighting is that Luffy, in the last chunk of chapters, had stuck his feet, like literally stuck his feet into the cement in order to use like a gum pinwheel or whatever they called it against Mumu, the big sea cow. So currently he's stuck in cement, and Arlong just walks up to him, grabs his arm, literally grabs the concrete that he's stuck in, pulls him up with the concrete, and throws him into the ocean.
So good.
So
good.
Just keep in mind, while we're going through these fights, Luffy is literally like dying in the ocean right now. Okay. And something else that's going to be recurring a lot in One Piece from this arc onwards is that whenever we see the Straw Hats, fighting another crew or fighting a villain or whatever it might be, the fights don't stay clustered as like a crew battle. Everyone usually ends up isolated and fighting like a one-on-one or a two-on-two. Sometimes it's one-on-two, but usually it's like a one-on-one kind of thing where like we'll see like it's always going to be like Luffy fighting the captain, Zoro fighting a swordsman. I mean, not always like that, but kind of,
Yeah, every Straw Hat will be matched up with like a counterpart.
Pretty much.
It's less obvious. It's less obvious with this right now.
I think it's more obvious with this, honestly. Because
well, I was gonna say there are like certain crews out there where it's like, yeah, we got Zoro, who's the I guess you could say the same thing with the Fishmen. How Usopp's fight is with the guy who's like does mostly range attacks.
Right. Which is why I think it's honestly way less of that going forward and more so of that like right now, because we do see like Hachi's a swordsman, he's gonna fight Zoro. Chu is a marksman, he's gonna fight Usopp. Kurubi is a fighter, he's gonna fight Sanji, and Luffy's gonna fight Arlong, obviously.
Yeah, the captain.
All right, Jesse, did you have something to say before we keep going?
I did, but I'll just say something else. Is his name Arlong because he's like has a long nose?
I don't think so.
I doubt it, because then they'd call him like Oolong. Wait
a minute.
Wait a second.
Is Arlong Oolong? He is a shapeshifter.
No, I was saying for Usopp, he would be called Oolong.
Here I am, bringing it back to Dragon Ball. Silly me.
Can't fucking escape it.
God damn it, it's a curse.
Okay. All right, so
calm down, everybody.
Everyone,
shut the fuck up. Okay?
Everyone, fucking relax. All right. So the first fight is Zoro versus Hachi, and Hachi definitely gets portrayed as this joke character. I'm sorry. Can you guys give me 1 second? Just fill in this brief gap.
Sure. Hey, Evan, you know what I've been thinking about, man? How cool was the fucking Nintendo GameCube? I mean, this is a console that physically is purple in a world of gray and black and consoles with wood on the side and stuff. This thing is purple. It's a cube. It has a handle on it.
I mean, I don't think, before that, the only other colored console I could think of would be like the N64s. Like there was the clear N64. There were the different colored N64s.
The cool era of consoles.
Leave it to Nintendo.
Yeah, seriously.
Honestly, one of the best eras of consoles, man. Agreed. I love the GameCube.
Agreed. I own a black GameCube actually, but the purple one is obviously the base one, and it's cool that it's purple.
I had purple GameCube and green, see-through green N64.
Nice. I just had the gray N64, but I did have the purple GameCube.
Nice.
And I had the see-through purple and green N64 controllers.
Nice. Very cool.
Capture something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome back.
Yeah. So, okay, back to Zoro and Hachi. Thanks for covering. So again, Hachi, definitely gets portrayed a little bit more as a joke character. I feel like he's definitely taken a little bit serious in this fight, but at the beginning, it kind of just feels a little bit like a joke. So the fight starts with Zoro only using one sword, and if you remember, that's because Mihawk destroyed his other two swords.
Now this is the sword that. Like his first sword, right?
Right. So Zoro throughout One Piece will have some named swords, and this sword does have a name. I actually didn't write it down, so I can't tell you what it is. But this white sword that he always has with him has a name. The other two swords were just two swords, But this sword has meaning to him, and I want to say we know what that meaning is already. I'll just say it was given to him by the girl who had passed away.
I'm pretty sure we found that out,
okay.
Right?
Yeah, I want to say we already did that. Yeah.
And I don't want to get us too off track, but I do want to say I read a really interesting fan theory about his sword, like this sword in particular, and how this fan theory states that it might be one of the supreme grade swords.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I know why, but yeah, go ahead.
The theory goes like if the girl died, they said like, oh, she fell down some stairs, but they also stated that she was supposed to have a fighting spirit, and she might have actually tried to like maybe utilize a sword a bit, and it killed her.
Wow.
So That'd be a pretty cool little thing there.
And I think I don't know too much about Wano, but going off what I know about Wano, that theory could hold true as well, considering who might have given her that sword.
Right.
Right. Okay.
I mean, let's face it here. Let's face it here. It's a samurai arc. It's like a Japanese themed arc. You know there are going to be some samurai swords in it.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say. I don't want to say.
Right. Jesse doesn't know anything about it, so that when we like get into the, I'm excited to get into the part where Jesse's not going to know anything until he reads it. You know.
Yeah, I feel that. That's why KINGDUMMIES is so fun for me, is because Jesse still has no idea what's about to come.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Only 900 chapters to Wano.
Let's go.
We're 1/9 of the way there, guys.
Absolutely. So while he's fighting Hachi shows off that he can use 6 swords because he's an octopus, and can use a sword in each one of his hands. And Zoro asks Yosaku and Johnny to give him their swords, and on chapter 85, page 4, they throw him the swords, and he's not looking at the swords that are coming out. He's just staring at Hachi, and he grabs them out of the air without even looking, and counters Hachi, and it's just like really badass. Like he does this backwards flip while blocking all of the swords, and then he just cuts them straight up. Very cool. Really cool moment
one of the
for Zoro.
Best moments
for sure.
Probably one of the best Zoro moments, just because of how fucking badass it is, but also like one of the best moments in Arlong Park for sure.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, then Hachi counters with this octopus pot stance, where he pretty much just takes his 6 swords and he puts them so they're all pointing together. They're like all their tips are touching, and he just kind of runs straight. It's a pretty stupid attack, but he even says at one point, like, this attack's 100% unavoidable. He does hit Zoro with it.
Yeah, because he breaks Zoro's guard by like taking all 6 and then opening them up.
Right.
With octopus opener.
Yeah, with octopus opener. And he headbutts Zoro into the air, and he spins his swords above his head and like does this like blender thing. It actually looks really cool. And Zoro's, he calls it his 6 swords waltz, and Zoro's like falling onto it, and it looks like Zoro fucking dies on page 12 of chapter 85. But in fact, what we find out is that Zoro actually was able to Hachi says he spins himself on top of the blades. So I guess he kind of like rotates with the blades somehow and counters Hachi.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
He spins like with the momentum to bring him down, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
And the fight kind of
the artwork in this whole fight was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely, really good artwork all the way around. I actually, to be honest with you guys, read this all in black and white.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to see the true artwork of Oda with some of this stuff, and actually, I will say there were certain parts where I liked the black and white more than the colored. Specifically, when they show off the giant scar that Zoro has, as Arlong's holding him up later on.
Gotcha.
So another thing to keep in mind is Zoro is still very much fucked up from his fight with Mihawk. Hachi cuts him, but Zoro's definitely fucked up. The fight concludes with Zoro breaking all 6 of Hachi's swords and using his Tatsumaki attack, which is translates to Dragon Tornado. And
shout out to One Piece, One Punch Man.
Nice. And that's pretty much the end of that fight. And then as that fight ends, we can see Zoro kind of slumps over, and Kurubi comes up and tries to pretty much take him out. And Sanji steps up, and that will lead us right into our next fight.
Hey,
yes,
Adam.
Yes.
On page 14 of chapter 85,
mm-hmm.
There's a nice little drawing of Hachi explaining how it worked and how he spun himself on top of the swords. And just look on the little miniature Hachi's face. I'm all zoomed in. He's got these big bug eyes. It's pretty funny. He's like holding an umbrella. So weird.
Yeah. Yeah. He's even got his arms in like this, like, I don't know, stance.
Like he's trying to juggle something. It looks like.
Yeah, or he's dancing or something. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's so goofy. Love it.
so-
Hachi is one of my favorite characters
Hachi
that we've read so far.
Hachi's a great character and will become an even better character as we dig more into One Piece. So the fight with the next fight we're gonna do is Sanji versus Kurubi, and the fight starts with Sanji jumping into the ocean because him and Zoro had this conversation like, Luffy probably is going to die soon. Like he's been down there for a while, and as we know, people with devil fruit powers become hammers. And by the way, okay, I didn't want to say this now, but we'll get into it. But they become hammers. But even without that, I mean, he's stuck in concrete, sinking to the bottom of the ocean. So I think this is a good time to just take a pause on the fights and talk about what you guys think about Luffy's powers and how devil fruit works underwater. So during the Zoro and Hachi fight, Genzo and Nojiko jumped into the ocean from outside of Arlong Park and swam over to Luffy, and they were like, "We need to fucking do something to save him." And they're not strong enough to pull him out with the concrete, nor are they strong enough to just straight up break the concrete. So they come up with the idea that he's made of rubber. We can grab his head, we'll stretch him out of the ocean, and we'll pump the water out of him. So I'll hold his head out. So Nojiko is going to hold his head out of the water, and Genzo is going to stay down there and pump water out of him. Now here's where things get a little tricky, and the fan base gets a little split on this. So devil fruit powers are not supposed to work when the user comes into contact with the ocean. And many people argue that Luffy shouldn't be able to use his powers. If you go to chapter 89 on page 2, Arlong even says like that the sea robs devil fruit users of their powers.
I wrote that in my notes. It's pretty. I wrote it's pretty ballsy of Oda to write that 4 chapters after he already shows Luffy's head getting stretched out.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that.
I got more to talk about it, so don't worry. I'll get more into it. But I'll get your guys' take on it as well. Let me just get through this real quick, and then I'll let you guys have the floor with it. So not only their abilities, but it's supposed to drain them of their energy. So like they like at one point you see Luffy like kind of like putting his hands over his mouth and like holding his breath. Like it's supposed to just sap you. You're like in later chapters of One Piece, you'll see like when Luffy gets into contact with, I forget what they call it, karaseki. It's this material that they make from the ocean that they put on weapons. When he gets touched, sea stone, yeah. When he gets touched by it, he literally like just like turns into a puddle. So because but I've also seen the argument online that it robs people of their powers, not their passive abilities. So because Luffy is just a rubber man, he wouldn't revert back to being normal, right? He wouldn't just stop being rubber. But if another devil fruit user, let's say Ace, if Ace fell into the water, he wouldn't be able to shoot fire, right?
Like he wouldn't be able to become fire.
Right. He wouldn't be able to come fire either. I don't think he would be able to activate that power. Whereas Luffy's whole body is literally, he's a paramecia type. He's made of rubber now. He doesn't have normal organs anymore. His body is not normal anymore. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think Oda fucked up? Do you think the argument for passive abilities makes sense? What do you guys think about it? I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here, and I have an SBS question that fills us more in on this idea, but I want to hear your guys' take first.
All right, let me ask you this, though. Are there any other instances in the whole series, if you have to spoil it, whatever, are there any other instances where it would, support the evidence that the passive ability can still be used? Or like at any other time in the series, does anybody even have the danger of falling into the water, or does that hazard just kind of go away?
I think Oda stays mostly away from it. I'm sure there's instances where they're like, oh no, there's water around us, this is going to be a factor in this fight, but not really, because at a certain point people are just like fucking ridiculous and able to move so fast and not really the ocean, the whole hammer thing really becomes less relevant the more we get into One Piece.
And also,
there are certain times, but go ahead, Evan. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. It's they also go to like it stops. I feel like East Blue has been a lot focusing on like small islands, you know, where meanwhile they'll go to some places that are like continents. So like Alabasta is fucking huge, right? And they're not really going to be in contact with the ocean too much because I mean they're inland, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean if you
go
ahead.
No, I mean, but yeah, like you were saying, Oda doesn't really use it very much, and I think it's maybe because of this, because I think he fucked up. I think there's, you know, I think he just fucked up. I don't think he thought it out. Didn't he apologize for this? Or
something like that, something along those lines. I think actually did happen where he was like he issued an apology for it. I think I like the argument for the passive abilities thing because I don't think it would make sense for Luffy to literally not be able to stretch his body anymore. I mean, he's still made of rubber. He doesn't go back to being a normal human. I like that take on it.
I get that.
It's a good point. It's definitely a good argument.
I like the argument that it will rob you of your powers. So like if Aokiji or Ace or literally think of any other Devil Fruit power user that needs to activate their ability, like do something with their ability, shoot something out of their body or whatever, that would make sense. But like Luffy, if they touch the water, obviously they're going to lose that active ability. I like the idea that there's an active and a passive ability with certain Devil Fruits. Because, like, Luffy doesn't really have a power. I mean, he's made of rubber, but he doesn't shoot anything. He doesn't have this, like, grandiose thing that he's doing. His body is just rubber, and he's using his body to fight, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously, Haki changes a lot of things, but that's way down the line.
I can get behind that. You know, I think that makes more sense than the goddamn time traveling in the Cell arc. But, you know, like, I'm just saying, as a Dragon Ball fan, I'm used to stupid plot holes and dumb headcanon explanations. So I guess I can get that. But, again, while I was reading, when Arlong said, you know, it takes away all your powers or whatever, I was like, damn, he says it right here.
I know. I thought that was crazy that he said it too.
Interesting. Well, what is the SBS and when did that come out?
Okay, so this SBS came out in volume 41, so much later.
SPS?
So SBSs are the question and answer things at the end of chapters, where the fans ask Oda a question and they like write him a letter and he answers it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay, they're not normally in the full color.
They're not in the full color. They are in the black and white versions, and when I was first like, I want to talk about this because this is like an important thing that a lot of people talk about. I wanted to like really just like see what Oda had to fucking say about it, and I think this SBS doesn't particularly answer this exact thing, but I think it's interesting what he says about Devil Fruit users and water, not just ocean water, but water. So the SBS goes, here's the question. Oda, here's a question for you. Crocodile can't fight water because he's sand, right? Then how does he bathe? Does he at all? That's filthy. Do you bathe, Oda? So that's the question, which is a funny question, and I can't believe the how big of an answer Oda gave to this. So here's Oda's response to this question. First of all, let's discuss the problem of Devil Fruit users bathing themselves. People who have eaten Devil Fruit are hated by the sea and cannot swim. The sea here can refer to anything from rivers, pools, baths, to any kind of standing water. On a worldwide level, they are all the sea. When these people enter water, not only can they not use their powers, they have trouble moving their bodies at all. They might be able to struggle a bit, but it wouldn't do much good. That's if their entire bodies are submerged in the sea. With less than half of the body or just the limbs, it gets easier. As rain and dripping water have no effect at all. Therefore, hip baths or showers are most common choice. Now, in Crocodile's case, water is the weakness of his very powers, so his abilities are robbed even in the shower. But it's not like there are enemies around when you take a shower, so I'd bet he would take them even with his powers being blocked, don't you think? And to answer your final question about myself bathing, as it happens, I do bathe twice in a year. That's Oda's.
Yo, what a fucking baller.
And I believe
Oh man.
Real quick,
What a
I believe
man.
in one of the movies when I was reading about this, because someone brought this up, which is why I even knew this fucking question and answer existed. Someone, I think they said in Big Film Z, there's a scene where Luffy's taking a shower and the water goes past his knees and he slumps over like he lost his powers. So I get
wow.
that gives credence to this answer. Not that this answer really answers what we're talking about, but I figured it's pretty interesting to think that it's not just the sea, and the sea stone thing kind of makes it a little bit weird that this is an answer now, because when we think about it, like, yeah, sea stone, it's not the salt it's just water. So it's interesting, and a lot of people talk about in the Thriller Bark arc how Gecko Moria's weakness is salt, and how you can purify zombies and get the souls out of people with using salt. A lot of people were like, "Well, how come that's a thing?" And everyone said, and that was answered by, "No, that's just a unique weakness to Gecko Moria's powers. That has nothing to do with sea salt."
Right, because it's not sea salt; it's just salt in occultism,
Right.
stuff in general.
Right.
You know. Right on.
Mm-hmm.
One last thing, Adam, before we get off this, what other person do you think would be able to use their powers in the water still?
That's a really good question.
Maybe Katakuri.
Maybe
Charlotte Katakuri.
Katakuri might be,
because his body's mochi.
but Jesse doesn't even know who that is yet.
Yeah, it would really have to be anybody that their body's turned into something that's not a Logia user.
Right. So
that's pretty rare.
Think about all the Paramecia types I feel are super rare. Think about all the Logia users we've seen. Smoker, Ace, Boris, all the generals. All of them, even if this had happened to them, would be fucked. I mean, you can't pull Smoker's head out of the water even if it turns to smoke. You can't pull Ace's head out of the water even though it turns to fire. So even though their passive abilities might still be working for them, it's not going to work in the same sense. I think this is legitimately a case where only Luffy, and now that Evan brings up Katakuri, could survive. I'm sure if I took the time and went through every other fucking Devil Fruit user, I could make an argument for some of them. But really, I think realistically, this is like a unique situation that's just for Luffy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
you're
it's
1,000% correct.
It's definitely interesting to think about.
Maybe Law? No, definitely not.
No, because like, what would happen with him? He wouldn't even be able to. He wouldn't be able to use shambles or whatever he says. Again, another character that I don't. Oh no, Jesse knows who Law is. Jesse, do you know anything about Law's powers? Do you know how they work yet, or no?
Oh no, I just remember him like when he shows up, he switches out someone's head with a cannonball or something ridiculous like that.
All right. Well,
I might be mixing something up.
No. You're right. I won't tell you exactly how it works, but yes, when he shows up at Shabity Archipelago, and they fight the Marines outside the auction house, he does do that with a bunch of people's body parts. He switches people's body parts around and can teleport people within that field he makes. But there's way more to it than that. That is not really his power. His power is not to teleport people. That is not his power. But okay, so we'll go. Well, now that we've talked about this, I'm in the camp of passive abilities. I'm fine with that argument. What about you guys? Final thoughts?
I think I would have fucked up.
Okay.
Yeah, same. I think I would have fucked up.
Fair enough.
I do find the argument compelling. That
I get it.
I could go either way, but I just feel like I'm just gonna treat this like Warhammer 40K orcs rules. I imagined that it would work, so it
did. Therefore it worked. I painted this thing red. Now it's faster. Let's go.
Hell yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
Do love orcs. Probably my favorite race of things in the Warhammer lore.
They're pretty cool.
They're great.
They're the most fun, I would say.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely the most fun. Okay, let's get back to this. So back to the Sanji Flight, which is actually pretty short. It's only one page. Sanji, like I said, Sanji jumps into the ocean to go after, to save Luffy. His idea is, if I can get down there, no one at this point even knows that Genzo and Nojiko are currently trying to save Luffy. So he goes down there.
Also, Genzo has been holding his breath for a long time.
Oh yes.
Yeah. This whole thing, besides the the weirdness with the devil fruit felt very much like a side quest in a video game or something.
Well, I think this happens a lot too. I don't really like talking about it because I'm more than okay with how things play out during arcs. But I feel like a lot of the time when we're going through these arcs, something happens to Luffy and he doesn't get to do any of the fighting until the very end of the arc. In like most arcs, I feel like a lot of it.
That's very fair.
A lot of it, some shenanigans happen and Luffy's like incapacitated, or in this circumstance, fucking stuck on the bottom of the ocean right now, you know?
Yeah, there's that one arc later on where Captain Ginyu steals his body and then he has to sit in the healing pod.
Yeah, and he has to jump around as a fucking Namek frog.
After we already waited for him to fucking get to Namek in the first place. God damn.
God damn it, Oda.
Oda.
So again, Sanji jumps down there, and his idea is, I'm gonna kick the concrete, and then I can just swim Luffy back up. But
that's solid.
That's a good plan. But as he's swimming down there, he sees Genzo, and Kurubi follows him. And this is when fishmen are at their strongest, when they're in water. Okay, Kurubi literally grinds Sanji into a fucking paste. Sanji tries to escape to the surface after realizing, oh fuck, I'm in trouble. He gets shithoused. He gets thrown into the cliffside, and he's like, I'm fucking dying. I need fucking air. So I honestly think that this fight, even though it's really short, is really cool. The way that both fighters think about things. So Kurubi, obviously is not going to let him go back to the ocean or back to the surface and breathe. He grabs Sanji and he literally monologues. I'm pretty sure it's a monologue that human bodies can't handle rapid change in pressure. So he quickly, as fast as he can, swims Sanji down to the bottom of the ocean, which fucks up Sanji's internals.
Yeah, he explodes. It's crazy.
Yeah, which is crazy. And, Sanji going, I'm in fucking trouble if that happens again. I already can't fucking breathe. Points up, and Kurubi's like, oh, you want to go up? And Kurubi's like, I'm gonna just do it again. So he swims him back up. But Sanji...
It's like the hooks in SpongeBob.
Yeah, literally.
And you float back down to the bottom. Or whatever.
Sanji comes up with a great idea that if I cover his gills, he can't breathe underwater. And I don't know, it kind of happens really fast. I don't know if maybe Kurubi tries to breathe through his gills and that's what forces him, but it forces him to let go, and Sanji's able to get back to the surface. And once they get back to the surface, Sanji fucking destroys Kurubi. Like, literally hits him with 5 of his mutton and pork chop attacks and whatever he fucking names his attacks. All the French cuisines that they're named after.
Every French word Sanji knows is getting thrown at this guy.
And I think the best part about it is Kurubi's literally monologue. It's really funny because Kurubi's monologuing about how Sanji only got hit by his 100 tile smashing true punch, and now he's gonna use his 1,000 tile smashing true punch. But as he's it doesn't even get to finish the sentence, Sanji literally fucking jumps him and just beats the crap out of him.
Yeah, and that panel is fucking sick looking, dude.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it in black and white right now, and it looks awesome.
What chapter are you looking at? 86?
86, yeah. Page 24 of 25 on the old V3. Vroom, vroom.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude. It's such a great looking panel.
Adam, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are Sanji's attacks, because what he does here in this chapter is every word that he says is a part of the body. So are his attacks usually named after where he's going to hit someone?
Oh.
That's a really good question, Evan. I've never really considered it. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you for that. That's really, really interesting. I'm going to start paying attention to that.
Because you see what I'm saying, right? Where, the first one's his neck, and then the next is his shoulder. But damn, I never noticed that until I was reading it earlier. And it made me kind of feel stupid, maybe it's just because obviously I never had translations next to it like that.
Yeah, good thing me and Adam don't feel stupid live on air right now.
Haha, not me. I'm too smart to feel stupid.
Yeah,
Hey,
normally,
man.
see, I already knew these French words, so I wasn't thinking about it in English like that, you know?
Oh
But yeah,
man, it's hard.
I think that's a really interesting thing that you brought up. I literally have never even considered this. So, and I've read
I don't think that's a
fucking
thing. I don't think that's a thing. That's why you never thought of it, Evan. That's a stupid idea, Evan.
yeah. You know what? Evan's actually just an idiot and trying to make us look bad.
Just you
So,
wait. Just you
so
wait. Till I'm proven right.
All right. So, the last fight we're gonna talk about. Oh, I'm sorry, not the last fight. I guess the last fight between crew members we're gonna talk about is Usopp versus Chu. And I definitely
Yes.
think that this fight is one of the better of the three. It's I think the longest of them all, besides the Luffy fight. But it really shows how Usopp develops and how he's gonna develop going forward. He's a coward. We all know that. It's his moniker, and it will be his moniker for the rest of One Piece. Don't think that at any point Usopp is going to like man up and be cool. But he has these fucking moments. He has these moments, and there's another moment in my mind. I won't bring it up because Jesse didn't read Dressrosa, but the Dressrosa moment is also really fucking cool. Okay, and not the one where he scares the person. I'm talking about the bagworm shot.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
No. The
Okay.
bagworm shot?
I'm talking about the bagworm shot, okay?
I'm talking about the ketchup star shot. How about that? I was like, dude, ketchup star. Get the fuck out of here with this.
Bagworm? No. I want smelly rotten eggs and ketchup. That's what I want my marksman using as weapons. Okay, so the fight starts and we see Usopp. You know, he's faking that he got hit by Chu's ability. And Chu, real quick, has this ability that he's able to project water out of his mouth as if he was shooting a gun. So
he's basically a war turtle.
literally.
Only if he sucks up the water, though, right?
Yes, but he can store water, a lot of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, he
as we
sucks
see.
up this whole little bog thing.
Right, which I'm gonna show
Whatever.
everybody because I thought that was really fucking cool. So Usopp's faking. He looks like he's covered in blood. He probably just used a ketchup star on his stomach. And Chu, leaves. He thinks that Usopp's dead. So as he's leaving, Usopp gets all these flashbacks about the crew and like how their crazy conviction to fight the fishmen, and it really spurs him to fight, which again is really cool because Usopp's a coward. He's not known as like this big fighter, and even his weapons are fucking goofy. Like besides his like certain kill star, his weapons are fucking goofy. He is a joke character at this point, but he really mans up here. In which
I like one thing he says that's really great when he has this whole epiphany that he needs to stop being such a fucking coward is he says, they risk their lives, talking about the other Straw Hats, they risk their lives and give it their all every day, and they can laugh from their bottom of the hearts because of that. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that's a good point, man.
Yeah, really cool. And here's the coolest part about this fight. Usopp fucking dabs on this man, all right? Usopp fucking owns this dude, okay? So Chu knocks him to the ground. And Usopp's laying there and he's like, it's over, it's over. He keeps saying it's over. And as he's doing this, you see him put his hand into his coin purse thing. And he pulls out a fucking hammer and fucking hits Chu in the shin with this hammer. And Chu's fucking mouth on page 14. Look at this fucking mouth. Okay? So Usopp hits him with this thing, and Chu, I guess, he gets real disoriented, and Usopp takes the time to escape into, like, the trees in the forest that are right there. And, I'm sorry. Real quick, before he does that, Usopp shoots a rubber band at him. Usopp's famous rubber band attack.
Yeah, I think he shot it in his eyes, and that's what caused him to flinch.
Right. So then Usopp takes the time. He runs into the forest, and we see this bottle of rum get thrown at Chu, who catches it. But Usopp shoots it with a certain kill lead star. This is the genius of Usopp, okay?
This is pro strat right here.
This is fucking genius, okay? Honestly, I was so fucking impressed rereading this. I was like, God damn, Usopp, really fucking impressive work here. Okay, so before we see the genius of Usopp, we see the destructive power of Chew, who is literally a fucking cannon of a man. He sucks up this entire little fucking rice paddy field of water, and he shoots this gigantic water cannon. We see how fucking devastating the explosion is. He literally like destroys an entire section of the forest. And he even makes a joke, like Usopp like pokes out. He's like, and he's like, oh, I don't even need to find him. He revealed himself. So Chew rushes at Usopp, and Usopp dabs on him. He goes, hey, did you know that alcohol is flammable? And shoots the certain kill flame star, sets Chew on fire, and we get this really funny picture. I think it's actually on the next chapter.
Page 3.
Yes, where it's literally like Chew is like enveloped in flames, and all you can see is his fucking lips. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Great work by Oda.
I actually tweeted this picture out. I said, OMG, this lipstick makes you look so hot.
Yep. All the good stuff you're missing by not following at Mangaki Pod on Twitter.
Also on this page, we get Usopp doing Usopp Hammer like 10 times in a row.
Yes.
Throwing a rubber band in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, he throws in the rubber band, like that's going to do anything. I guess.
And then fucking the next page, he's got bumps on bumps.
Yeah.
You gotta have muscles on your eyeballs.
That's like old school anime, like wounds, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yo, this is super random. Evan, I saw your parents while I was driving today.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know. Just
Did they
thought
see
of that.
you?
Yeah, we waved and we gave each other the thumbs up, me and your dad. I don't think your mom even looked at me.
That's sick. She does hate you, so.
Yeah, she despises you, Soldier. So.
Yeah, I know. So
very true.
She was like, "I'm gonna pretend to make a phone call real quick."
My mother.
I'm gonna pretend I'm texting. I didn't see that smelly guinea in that car over there.
Jesus.
We're all Italian here.
I can smell him, and the windows are up. He smells like meatballs. Evan's famous.
Does that boy ever take a fucking shower?
Sway, smells like Fromunda.
Oh no.
All right, so we finally get into the last fight, which is between Luffy and Arlong, obviously. And just so we get some context, Luffy, after Sanji defeated Kurubi, he went back under the water. He smashed the concrete or the cement that's been holding him under there. And, Nojiko holds him, and Luffy, slingshots back to his head, and all the water that was in him, bursts out of him.
I like how Arlong comes to the realization, like, oh, there shouldn't be any fountain over there, which means that the rubber brat is. It's like, how would you fucking expect? What?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Oh, no fountain over there. It's gotta be Rufy. It's gotta be Rufy.
Yeah, it's gotta be the rubber man with his neck stretched from the bottom of the ocean floor, getting the Heimlich maneuver by two people who are both above and below ground taking fucking shifts.
While one person goes down to kick the concrete, while one of my minions just goes and follows him. It's just like a page and a half long.
Yeah. So before Sanji does this, Nami does show back up at Arlong Park, and Arlong tells her
she's gonna kill him.
Arlong goes, look, you can either join with me and I'll spare the villagers, or I'm gonna kill everybody and take you hostage. And Nami, looks back to all the people of the village and says, and she just asks them, everybody, will you die with me? Which was great, because they already were more than okay with giving their lives to this cause.
One Piece is so good, man.
Yeah, man. I'm underselling this moment, but this moment is really fucking cool. So Luffy, we're back to Luffy fighting Arlong. Luffy starts off the fight by hitting Arlong with his Gumu Gumu Bell, his whip, his bullet, a Gatling gun. And Arlong
every French word that Luffy knows.
Yeah, all named after body parts. The body parts that he's hitting, all of them are named after that. And Arlong's like, "Is that it, kid?" And Luffy, cracks his knuckles. He's like, "I'm just warming up." So before the fight, really starts, Arlong asks Luffy, "Do you know what hopeless difference there is between us?" And this was one of my favorite jokes. Luffy just looks at him and goes, "Nose or jaw or webbed hands?" And Arlong obviously, says it's their race, obviously, and Arlong has this whole race superiority thing where he believes that humans are inferior and they're weak. They can't even breathe underwater. And that
Can't even breathe underwater.
right, and that fishmen are the superior race, and this does get explored a lot more as we go more into One Piece. We do find out that fishmen are very much discriminated against by humans.
Yeah, in like 400 chapters.
Right, which
and it's awesome.
Right. It is very cool.
Awesome.
Puts a whole different context on everything,
right.
And
it makes a lot of the things that the Straw Hats say to the fishmen in these chapters a little bit more racy. Because they do go, they like to you fish freak and stuff like that, and it's like...
Yeah, remember when Luffy went and put Scale Face on? And then he was...
Scale Face, yeah, absolutely. All right, so...
Luffy and Scale.
Luffy and Arlong, they go back and forth, and Luffy hits Arlong in the face and breaks his teeth with a punch. But
Owie.
Owie. Arlong shows that he has this ability to quickly grow his teeth back. We see this happens a lot more, I feel like, in the anime than it does in the manga. It really doesn't happen often in these chapters, but Arlong makes it so that he grows these sets of teeth and uses them in his fucking hands as weapons, which is really fucking cool.
Amazing, dude. Fucking amazing.
And it's really smart as well. I think something that really doesn't get mentioned enough is the fact that Luffy is made of rubber. Blunt attacks will not hurt him, okay? Seriously, think about that. All the time, anytime that Luffy gets punched, kicked, slammed, thrown into a building, whatever the fuck it may be, he kind of reacts like it's hurting him when it absolutely should not be. If you fucking punch a ball of rubber, it will just smush. It will take whatever shape you're putting it into and then take its shape back. Luffy's body should be exactly the same way. And I think Arlong realizes that, which is why he knows that I'm going to fucking rip and tear. Just like Doom Guy. I'm going to rip and fucking tear. Okay.
Rip and tear until the job's done, right?
Right, absolutely. Arlong knows this very well. So he comes up with this really cool strategy where he puts his fucking teeth into the palms of his hands and uses them as weapons.
Now, Arlong's probably the first character we've met who's probably actually fought against another Devil Fruit user.
Oh yeah, absolutely has fought against another Devil Fruit user. In fact, I'd like to even say more on it, but it wouldn't really make sense in the context of things. Jesse, you read Impel Down, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so as we know, Arlong is the only person up until this point who has ever escaped from Impel Down. Okay? He didn't technically escape. When they made... This is fucking way in advance, but when they make Jinbei a part of the Shishibukai, so we do know that... So at this point, we do know that Arlong is technically working for a Shishibukai. He isn't. But when Jinbei becomes a Shishibukai, he requests the release of Arlong from Impel Down. Arlong's first fight out of Impel Down is in fact with Luffy, and he is sent immediately back to Impel Down after this fight.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Which is something crazy to think about going even further, because when we think about Impel Down, we don't see Arlong in Impel Down, but he gets sent back to Impel Down.
Yeah. I honestly forgot that happened.
Yeah.
Adam.
Yep.
I mean, I knew he got sent there. I mean, I would assume he got sent there after this arc, but before that, I didn't even remember that.
Mm-hmm. Now, there is more information that we are all privy to. I won't bring it up, but obviously a lot more people escaped from Impel Down. And there's even another character that escaped Impel Down probably before Arlong. I would say definitely before Arlong, but that doesn't even get mentioned here, nor does that character... That character is identity doesn't really get explored much in One Piece. I'm referring to Goldline Cheeky.
Yeah. Well, I think he was mostly like a movie thing.
He is a movie thing.
I think he is canon.
He is. He gets mentioned. He has an ability that lets him levitate or float, and he escapes impelled down by using it.
Adam, do you know what the Rocks Pirates are?
I do know about the Rocks Pirates. I don't know much about them.
I'm pretty sure he was a member of the Rocks Pirates.
That would make sense. A lot of very powerful pirates were a part of the Rocks Pirates, so that will be some very exciting shit to talk about. But that is way in the that's Wano stuff, right?
God, yeah. I want you to fucking catch up to One Piece so I can talk to you about
I need to. I probably have like 100 chapters to read of it.
Dude, and Dervishes the same fucking way. She's been letting this shit build up, and it's like, God, I need to talk to somebody about this.
Yeah, I think the last time I read a new chapter of One Piece was pre-COVID, so going on over a year, well over a year, probably 2 years.
Yeah, man. Well, you got some really good stuff to get into. Hey, also, can I mention in chapter 91? First off, which is I think we're right where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
But first off, the cover art is pretty amazing, very gangster.
First to say it,
gangster.
Rather the volume art, I should say. But the cover page actually does say the ship of Marine Headquarters, Vice Admiral Garp. So it does say Garp.
Oh, it does. Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, it does say Garp. I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah. I could have sworn that I had seen that before, but I wasn't sure until just now.
Very cool. And at this point, obviously, nobody knows. I was saying general. Admiral is the right word. Nobody knows who Garp is at this point. He's just He's just some vice admiral, right? We don't know the context of who Garp actually is yet. All right, so Luffy and Arlong are going back and forth. Arlong's using the fucking teeth thing, and Luffy comes up with the idea of using a set of Arlong's teeth in his own mouth. We see this on page 7 on chapter 91.
Nightmare fuel, man.
Very, very goofy. This is so
Bloodborne.
Yeah. And he does land a bite on Arlong's neck with it, but Arlong's like, your fucking human teeth are nothing compared to the bite, of my teeth. You're fucking, even using my fucking jaws, like, that means nothing. And Arlong shows him by clenching down on Luffy's, like, elbow. But Luffy has the insight to not pull back, because he knows if he pulls back, he's going to lose that fucking arm. And he pushes forward, and we see on page 12, Luffy just slams Arlong into the ground. Very cool.
Yeah, this page is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You get all the reaction shots up top, or like whatever, Johnny and Yosaku, and there's a couple of shots where Luffy gets that flex in there.
Yes,
and it always just looks badass.
Absolutely. So after this, Arlong, he's kind of getting beat up a bit here. He jumps into the water. Luffy removes the jaws that are stuck onto his body. And
let me ask you something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Could you imagine taking out somebody's teeth and then putting them in your own mouth under your teeth?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I used to do it with my grandma's dentures all the time. But no,
to be like, Adam, I didn't even wash them, and I had onions last night.
Adam, you gotta use the paste at least. Make them stick, okay?
Then you spend like 12 hours not being able to get dentures out of your mouth. You can't eat because your mouth is just constantly like wide open.
I'm eating.
Okay, so next up in the chapter, Arlong is about to use the move with the silliest name in this series.
We have darts. Arlong spams his lowest cooldown ability, darts.
Shark on darts.
Yeah, shark on darts.
Yeah, I actually have a joke here for that too. What is this? Naruto Fang on Fang, but
nice.
This
This actually kind of reminded me of JoJo. Like
really?
like shark on Shark on darts sounds like it could be a stand name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminds
fair.
me of Fantastic Four. Flame on.
Shark
You know?
on.
No.
He's like shark on.
Nope. I have no idea what you're saying anymore.
I was making it up.
Okay. So yeah, he's
Honestly, I thought we were just making that up.
Nah, dude, this is all stuff we read. You're just I don't know, losing it, I guess. That sleep deprivation's finally kicking in.
He said he wanted something spooky.
Yeah. Him Billy or me Billy? You're both named Billy? No, that's why I'm so fucking confused. All right, so yeah, so he uses this fucking darts attack, which is just literally him like darting around and using the point of his nose as a dart. And Luffy shows off two new techniques that we haven't seen before. One is called shield and one is called net. And let me ask you guys, does he ever use this move, either of these moves again, ever, throughout the rest of One Piece? Jesse likes asking these things too, so I'm gonna ask him now.
I hope not, because net is horrifying looking to me. There's just something that skeeves me out about it. I don't know why. The shield thing is pretty funny though. Like when it's that one panel of it just like stretching around Arlong's face.
Uh-huh.
I would think that he uses shield again.
Okay, Evan, what do you think?
I honestly don't know.
All right.
I honestly don't know. I feel like he could. What's the answer though?
Not gonna tell you. You're gonna have to find out. You're gonna have to keep reading.
Fuck.
Because Jesse likes doing this shit too. He doesn't tell you. He just gives you a question, and you give him an answer, and he doesn't let you know if you're right. So
I don't know.
yeah. All right. So Luffy, he uses the net, and then he grabs Arlong out of the air, throws him down, and uses his spear attack. And this sends fucking Arlong into a rage, and they even note that he's got the eyes of a sea king when like a sea king goes into its berserk.
Like Rocky.
A little racist guy.
Yeah, kind of. We also get this really fucking funny panel on God, what chapter is this?
Yeah, what? Oh, is this
chapter 92?
Is what when Luffy looks like a balloon?
Yeah, he like grabs Luffy by the fucking head and goes to throw him, and his head stretches, not his body. His head stretches, and we get this really funny picture of him like whipping Luffy around and throwing him.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's
honestly like I can't believe he chose to draw him like that. It's very cartoony.
It's very cartoony, and I don't think we ever really see something like this again, where Luffy's fucking head is stretched out like this. So after
Luffy even states on page 12 that it didn't hurt. So
there
going
we
back
go.
to what you were talking about, I feel like maybe he has pain receptors, but it doesn't actually affect him negatively. Maybe it's just painful.
That's fair.
But
I could see that. That would make sense.
But at the same time, he was just thrown and destroyed Arlong Park almost.
Right.
And it didn't really hurt. So who knows? Who knows?
Right.
Go ahead. Do you think that they modeled Arlong's sword after his nose?
Maybe.
Yes.
Probably.
Well, his
Evan. Yes.
He's a sawfish. He's a saw shark.
He is a saw shark. And his Kiribachi, his shark saw sword, is definitely reminiscent of a saw shark. And I like this picture of him on page 15 too. Like he like slams it, but like the weight of it like pulls him up with it, you know? It's not like he's slamming the sword down in front of him. It's like the sword's taking him with it.
Yeah, like he doesn't have a high enough strength score to wield it.
Right, absolutely. Has to dual wield it just to be able to swing it, and it still fucking comes out slow and fucks him up if he doesn't hit something. Just like Dark Souls. Anyway, so this fight, once he pulls out his sword, the fight ends up going inside of the tower, and we end up on the top floor of the tower. And this is the room that Nami has been locked away in and forced to draw maps. And Luffy finds this pen on the ground and sees that it's like covered in blood. So obviously, you know, Arlong has Nami working day and night with no break, even if her fucking hands are bleeding. And obviously Luffy's getting very upset over this and just completely starts destroying the fucking room. And he even says,
Yes.
like, I want to destroy this room because this is the place that, Nami sees as, like, her fucking prison.
Yeah,
And
it's
this.
really awesome. And what especially triggers him is when Arlong says, "You think you can use her more effectively than I do?"
Mhm.
And Luffy's like, "Use, motherfucker, use."
Yeah.
If he just straight up snaps that fucking sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally grabs the sword. Let me show that because that's really fucking cool. He fucking grabs this sword and just breaks the blade with pure fucking grip. So cool.
Like you picked up your friend's peanut butter and jelly at lunch and you just squished it right in the bag.
Right? Yeah, in the bag. Oh no.
Drink it out with the straw, you piece of shit.
God damn. So yeah, Arlong tries his best Fang over Fang impersonation and does his Shark over Fang move, and Luffy ends the fight with the craziest fucking Gumu Gumu battle axe, and times it perfectly so that when Arlong's shooting straight for him, he slams him to the ground, and this completely like splits Arlong Park in half. Like the fucking whole building just starts collapsing on itself.
Yeah, pretty much like pages 14 through 19 is just like 6 pages of fucking awesome looking shit, man. Of him breaking down this building. He kicked there's the one on page 18. You see him looking through the holes. It looks like you're playing Portal or something like that.
Yeah, I can't believe Lucy. God, I can't believe Luffy would do this to Muscle Tower. Fucked up.
I can't believe Arlong bit Luffy in the dick.
I know. Oda also has confirmed that Luffy's powers do work with his penis.
Yeah, there's that movie where his penis dips in the water and then he passes out.
Yeah, he goes to sit down and take a shit, and his dick hits the water, and he fucking slumps over.
You know, one thing I like about this fight.
What? What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah, dude, it's in Strong World.
One thing I like about this fight that to compare it directly to Dragon Balls, or Dragon Ball Z or Kingdom as well, the other two series that we're covering. One thing I liked is that everybody down on the ground has no idea what's going on up at the top of the building until like maybe a chapter goes by, and then the desk gets thrown out the window or whatever, and then Nami starts to realize what's going on, and then obviously the building crumbles and everything. But I really like that because in Kingdom, right, like the generals are talking to each other from fucking miles away and stuff. And in Dragon Ball Z, like everybody's moving lightning fast, but everybody's like, "Oh, I can see what's happening." We're like, talking with telepathy or something.
Right.
So like,
yeah,
it's just cool to see like the outsider's perspective on the ground, and everybody's just like, I wonder what's going on the fuck up there. And we know that shit's getting fucked up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the telepathy in Kingdom is one of my least favorite things about that series. I think we actually, like, the last bit we read left off on a bit of telepathy, and it's like, what?
Yep.
What the fuck? Yeah.
So let me ask you guys. This is the end of all the fights. We'll start with Jesse. Which was your favorite fight? And of the fishmen, who was your favorite?
I hate to kind of say this because it feels like a cop-out, but honestly, just Arlong and the Arlong Luffy fight I kind of like the best, especially the first time I read this last year or 2 years ago, whenever it was. Definitely remember really being hyped about that, the whole building collapsing. It obviously has a really positive effect on Nami. She totally understands what Luffy was going for with destroying the room. And it's also cool that there's actually a bunch of flashback scenes of Nami like first getting introduced into there, and Arlong like holding her down, making her make the maps and everything. I mean, besides Shark on Darts being the most ridiculous name ever,
yeah,
I think that was the most badass.
Cool. Evan?
I think my favorite of the fishmen has to be Hachi. I like the comedy aspect of it, the comedic relief. And also, I think it's funny, just an octopus man. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
But the best fight had to be the Arlong fight. But if I had to pick a different one, I would say the Usopp Chu fight was pretty great. Usopp coming through like that was really warms the heart whenever he does, because he's always such a piece of shit all the time.
Yeah, you love to see a character like that break character.
And all the flashbacks he was having, and how he was saying, like, yeah, like everybody else gives their all the time. Like, if I don't do this right now, then I don't deserve to even like sail with them, you know?
Right.
I really like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with you. I think I mean, I think the Arlong Luffy fight is the coolest fight. I like the implications from the Usopp fight the most, and I agree that Hachi is also my favorite fishman. But that's also with the bias of knowing what we know about Hachi and, you know, how him and the Straw Hats are going forward.
Yeah.
All right, so the end of this arc is kind of important. Pretty big stuff happens at the end of this arc. Nothing groundbreaking, but pretty big stuff. Okay, so everybody remembers Nezumi. He is the mouse captain, marine captain, who has been working with, taking bribes from Arlong and extorting Nami. And he shows up right at the end of all of this happening. And he comes to steal, all the money from the Arlong Park and the treasure and whatnot. And the Straw Hat crew kind of just beats the shit out of him. And they tell him, like, not only are you not doing any of that, you're going to give back Nami's money and treasure, and you and the Marines are going to help rebuild Gosa Village. So obviously Nezumi he doesn't want to get beat the fuck up, so he agrees to these things. But he's obviously pissed off and reports everything that happened to the Marine HQ. And he tells them that, the Straw Hats are to be labeled enemies of the world government, and he wants to put a bounty on Luffy's head. And we get a very iconic picture on chapter 94, the very last page. We get Luffy's first bounty picture. Before we get the wanted poster, we get the picture, and we can even see Usopp's head in the background there. I wonder who took this picture. Who took this picture? You think it was a Marine cap? You think it was one of the Marines, and Luffy legitimately like smiled for the picture?
Yes, I believe that 1000%.
Me too.
Also, this is the first appearance of a Denden Mushi.
Yes, we also get Denden Mushis, which are very cool. And Denden Mushis.
Okay.
Denden Mushis are. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I did write in my notes, is this the first time we see these things?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. This is a fax Denden Mushi.
Did we see one? No, we didn't. Okay. I was going to say, did Gin use one to talk to Don Krieg? But he did not. He showed up and talked to Don Krieg. So yes, I believe this is the first instance of a Denden Mushi. And I love Denden Mushis, not only because they're fucking snails and they're adorable, but they take on the shape of whoever's talking through them, which is hilarious.
Right.
Yeah.
Very, very unique and creative fucking telephone.
Absolutely.
For the world.
Absolutely. Did you guys remember that this was did you, when you think about Luffy's wanted posters, did you remember that this was the origin? Like, this is how we got this picture? Because I certainly didn't remember that at all.
Nah, not at all. I didn't remember that.
No, I did not. I'm trying to remember what is his starting bounty? Is it 30,000?
I believe it's 30.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's 30. Yes.
Probably find out next time.
Yeah, we will definitely find out next time. But I want to say it's 30. Okay, so the arc ends with Nami. So the crew's leaving, and the arc ends with them saying goodbye to the villagers on the going merry. And Nami runs past the entire village without saying goodbye for some obvious reasons. One, I mean, I think it would be really hard for her to say goodbye. She also doesn't want to sit there and have everybody apologize to her for her sacrificing herself the past 8 or 9 years or however long she was serving under Arlong. And two, she also fucking stole all their wallets.
Yeah. They'll
great.
get over it. She left them like $100 million.
Right.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. She literally liberated their island. I don't think they're mad at her in the slightest.
Nah,
but
yeah,
I do love the panels we get for this. On chapter 95, the bottom panel of page 15 and the top panel of page 16, where it's Nami showing the money and all the villagers calling her a thief, and then all the Straw Hats' reaction to it is just really funny.
Yeah, it's amazing. I also
Same
like
as always.
Nami lifting her shirt up a bit, and like fucking like a dozen and a half wallets just dropping out. Really funny too.
We also see on page 18 Genzo holding this picture. Another thing that I did not fucking remember. I remembered where she got the tattoo. I remember her getting the tattoo, but I don't remember it being, as she describes it, as a pinwheel and an orange.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Which is really
That
fucking
shit-
cool.
that
Fucking
rules.
so fucking good.
Seriously.
Like this hit me in the emotions really hard. 18 and 19.
Ooh, right in the emojis.
Mhm.
Oh my god, that hit me right in the hard eyes emoji and the crying waterfall tears emoji.
I don't know the word for it, but sad emoji.
Yep, I don't know the word for it, but Patrick Stewart emoji? Poop emoji?
Oh God. What's his name? Jordan Peele denied that role.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, he had some famous quote where he's like, "They literally asked me to be the shit emoji," and I was like, "You're literally asking me to be the shit emoji?"
That's really funny. Okay, so we also find out the origin of the pinwheel, which was when Nami was a baby, Genzo had a scary face and would make her cry, so he put a pinwheel in his hat in order to make Nami laugh as a child, which again was really cute. And we also find out that because so something that Luffy says to Genzo when he regains consciousness after he's being pumped out of water is, "What happened to your pinwheel?" It's like the first thing he fucking says when he regains consciousness.
Yeah.
And we see on the last page of this arc that Genzo actually put the pinwheel in Bellamir's grave, which I thought was like a really nice touch.
It's very great.
So that's the end of the Arlong arc. There's a few things that I just want to bring up. One of the I think the funniest fucking bit in the entire fucking thing is on chapter 89. So chapter 89, after Usopp beats Chu, he goes back and he like is shooting stuff at Arlong, and he on page 4 he goes to shoot an Usopp rubber band, which. And the funniest thing is they show on page 4 it literally like going 2 feet and falling on the ground in front of him.
Yep.
But
Also, hey, I'm sorry. Go on.
On page 2 pages later, we get this reaction of Hachi like bracing for impact and going, "Damn it! I thought that rubber band might have hit me," which I thought was the best fucking bit.
It's so funny. Even Usopp was like, "What?" But I gotta say too, this is also the chapter where Arlong has his hands on Zoro and he sees him like with the wounds, and he's like, "Holy shit, this guy's legit." That
is another thing I wanted to bring up as well, was the wound. But that's it. I just wanted to show what the wound was and just show how fucked up how fucked up Zoro actually is between his fight with Hachi and Mihawk's giving him this fucking wound, and it looks so much better in black and white.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Some of the scans I'm seeing for the black and white eventually get kind of bad though. But
go to the number 5 of 9. That's the best one. Nice. They also use the same text as the colored.
Word.
Gotcha. One other thing about that too. Speaking of Zoro's massive cuts, there's it might be that same scene where he's like, "Oh, should have waited longer and the cuts would have not opened up." And then Arlong's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Not me, I mean your guy." And then you see hot there, right? And he's like, "Fuck." I gotta say that the funniest thing for me is actually in the last chapter 95, where Luffy is talking about the raw ham melon. It goes to this scene of Genzo and he's pouring out a beer for his homies and all, at the gravesite. And then all of a sudden just raw ham melon. Luffy just busts in on the scene. That was pretty hilarious.
Some straight up rum ham shit right there.
Rum ham.
And one last thing I wanted to bring up was on chapter 94, page 16, the doctor that's looking after Zoro says, "You guys need to fucking get a doctor." And Luffy's like, "That's a good idea, but we need a musician first." I thought that was pretty interesting because obviously
Mhm.
Luffy has made this very apparent that he wants a musician on his ship.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
mean, that's
I
one of the
didn't
last
expect.
people he gets, right?
It's one of them. I don't think
Yeah.
it's the last one,
Not
but it's
the
one of them.
last, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the Arlong Park arc. How'd you guys like that? I know we've all read this before, but how did we like the reread of it?
Loved it. Fucking loved it.
Yeah, me too.
I think this arc is really great. And last episode of Dunce Piece was definitely more of the setup and emotional background to everything. That, you know, I think I said this, Nami's backstory really stuck with me as I read the whole series, you know, over 600 chapters. And in this episode, it was just a lot of fights, but they were cool. And there's a lot of payoff at the end in the last chapter. So
Oh yeah,
really enjoyed this.
absolutely. And going forward, I think we're gonna try to do like an arc and then do a discussion about the arc rather than me break it up like this because I think the new format will allow me to actually just summarize the whole arc and then we can just go from there, you know.
Yeah. Right
But
on.
next week it is King Dummies. We will continue the coalition arc. I don't know the chapters. Evan had mentioned that he might want to do the whole rest of it. Evan, what's your thoughts?
Not the whole rest, but I think I want to do something like 30 chapters if we can.
Cool.
I'll be honest, I still have yet to read it. Um, I'll probably do that either later tonight or tomorrow. But I feel like I want to take a look, probably around 30 chapters. We'll see how it ends. You know, it's got to end on a right spot.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that'll be coming sometime next week.
I think that we should all get the tattoo of the pinwheel and the orange, but it has a dunce cap on it.
It's a good one.
That's funny. We should just get dunce cap tattoos. But all right, that's gonna be everything from us over at the Mangaki no Tsukai boys. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode, and wherever you are, have a wonderful rest of your day.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Goodbye.